So this is Lovina. There are so many activities to do here, but some activities are so much better than others. So today's video, we're going to go through what's worth doing and what isn't. Starting off with our first activity, scuba diving. Now, I had a lot of fun doing this scuba diving as it was my very first time. However, overall, I don't think it's the best place you could go scuba diving. There's definitely a lot of better places you could go for the same amount of money. As the trip costed 1 million Indonesian rupiah, so 100 Australian dollars. It's not that much in retrospect, 50 Great British pounds, but yeah, overall, I don't think the spot's that interesting because you don't actually go scuba diving in Lovina. You go all the way to West Bali to the national park there and you do the scuba diving there. With having to drive 72 kilometers, you lose 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours coming back. So you've lost a lot of your day just driving alone. There's also a fair few jellyfish, so I managed to get stung. And the sting wasn't actually that bad, but once he poured the vinegar on to help me, it stung like a motherfucker. That's spicy. Get a lunch included. I can only sing the praises for the lunch. That food was absolutely delicious. One of the best meals I've probably ever had. So yeah, food's pretty good, but overall, I'm just gonna have to give it a 5 out of 10. I think I wouldn't come here for the scuba diving, but if you're really eager to go scuba diving, the option is available. So the next activity we have is the plankton diving. Now, this is the most skippable activity I think you could ever take part in. The worst case of false advertisement I've ever seen. They show you a picture on the poster of this bright luminescent water with so much colour coming from the lights. The camera couldn't even pick it up, the lights were that dim. I'll show you an animation on screen of basically what I saw so you can kind of visualise what you're actually going to see on this trip. I even took my life vest off to go as deep as I could to try really see as much plankton as possible, but useless. Could not see absolutely anything. The best thing about the plankton dive is the food they give you at the end. That food was possibly the best meal I've ever had. If you buy the plankton dive on the beach, they even try to sell you magic mushrooms. And I've taken magic mushrooms before. I can't think of a more underwhelming and anticlimactic experience than taking magic mushrooms and going to see that plankton. Like, there's no lights, there's nothing visual to see. You'd be much better off just taking them magic mushrooms on the beach and just running around in a circle, honestly. So overall, we're going to give this a 1 out of 10. If it weren't for the delicious food, it would be in the minus zone, honestly. So plankton diving, skip that shit. Moving on to the Aling Aling Waterfalls. Now, this trip was absolutely amazing, and I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I'm always going to enjoy jumping off high things into water. But they have stuff for everyone. You've got 3 different jumping platforms. You've got one at 5 meters, you've got one at 10 meters, and you've got one at 15 meters. And you've also got a natural water slide that you can slide down on. However, I would definitely wear a life jacket when you go down the water slide, as I didn't, and it's bumped my back a lot, which I know is not going to be good for you. So if you're going to drive to the waterfall and book it there, they're going to partner you up with whoever's in the booking office at the same time as you. And I did this, and unfortunately I got an old couple who just wanted to take pictures of the waterfall. No means am I judging them. Like, I take pictures of a lot of my life, but it would have been a lot more fun for me if I'd gone with a group of young people who also wanted to jump off. I feel like it's much better to do with friends, and if you haven't got any friends, then I would recommend booking it through a tour company, because they will pick all the people up at different locations, and then you'll have a group of 10, 20, however many of you to go as a group, which will be much more fun than relying on meeting people in the booking office. So yeah, that's another thing I'd recommend. But overall, I love the waterfalls. I had a great time there, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Such a cheap activity and so much fun packed in there. Moving on to the next activity, swimming with dolphins or dolphin watching. Now, this activity was absolutely amazing. You start at 6 AM and get sailing straight away, and they bring you so close to the dolphins. If you've got a camera on a pole like I do, you can almost touch them. That's how close you can get. And they also offer another service where you can, they say, swim with dolphins, but you're more being dragged through the water on a wooden bar. So you'll see in the video, you hang on to this bar and you get to see the dolphins as they descend deep under the water. So I think it's much better, rather than just seeing them come up to the surface and blowing out their blowhole, you're actually seeing them swimming around. I used to do gymnastics and I used to do swimming, so I've always had a good level of upper body strength. So fair enough being dragged through the water for 40 minutes like this, but if you're trying to film stuff and make content, obviously doing it one-handed with one arm, it's definitely a bit of a workout if you're not used to that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you can't do a pull-up, I would say just stay on the boat. It is a bit tiring to do for a long period of time, but overall, that was an amazing experience. Being able to see the dolphins so close and seeing them swim underwater was absolutely fantastic. So we're going to go with 7 out of 10 on that one. Great activity, honestly. Brings me to my final thing, Funky Place Beach Bar.
There's a waterboarding.
Can I have a kiss? He won't tongue me.
Oh.
He's not. I think he's straight. He kissed the girl. He won't kiss me. Beach bar. Now this isn't an activity, but I just think it's a really cool place to check out. The husband's here. Nearly got caught there. It's just a really chilled out beach bar where people sit on beanbags, chat, eat, socialise, and they have a couple of things on like limbo, dancing on stage, fire dancers. There's lots of things going on where you can just, you know, easily mingle and communicate with people. So it's definitely a nice bar to check out. And as it gets later on in the night, they close the beach bar and everyone moves into the street bar where it's more typical club where you've got live music, you've got a pool table, you can have a dance, you can have a sing. It's just overall a really great place to check out. So we're going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Definitely go funky place if you're in Lovina. So that's everything for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it and let me know what you think of Lovina. Peace.